Okay guys, let's start today's session. Yes, last week we were doing inside defenses, this week we'll be doing outside defenses. Let's take just a short warm-up and then go directly to the business. So maybe I can promise you 35 minutes, but it might also be 45 minutes. I don't know yet. Let's see how we can do it. Okay. Let's start rotating your hands. So think of rotation from here, both ways. Okay? All right, let's go. Then let's go to shoulders. So we have a little bit of power supply problems. All the electricity went down, but we're on battery, so let's see how long we can last. Okay, one hand forward, other hand backwards. So let's get in some natural light. Okay, then let's do a rotation from the body. So starting from here and going here. And every time you rotate now, don't just rotate the upper body. Let the leg follow and recoil. All right, then knee kick to the side, thinking of, or even a front kick to the side type of thing. So going there. And do the other side. All right, then bend forward a bit. So going here, lower back. Coming up. And now, with each bend, you're making just a little bit lower. So from here, all right. Okay, now when we go to outside defenses, the idea, of course, is that something is coming from outside of my hands. I will just move this bob here a bit so I'll be more tacked here. And now, from reactive point of view, thinking that if you are standing upright like this and something happens suddenly, the motion that's going to happen to us is this. So when we put our defense there, we need to understand that we don't have any weight on the defense. And especially if we practice of doing the defense in a way that it goes like very softly like this, there is absolutely nothing to stop the attack. So now we need to use that startling motion or moment when we get startled to our advance. And once we do that, tuck our neck in and let the hand here. Now you can see that, hey, the kinetic chain is there. It's going to do something. But now, right after we've done this, we need to understand that, hey, now I have to move. And where to move? If your elbow is lower than your hand, the easiest place to move is to outside, away from the hand. If it's here, the elbow is higher than your hand, the easiest place to move is actually to the hand side, to that side where your hand is. And that's very easily tested. Think that you put your hand there, and now remember to have your neck tight here, your shoulder tight here, and now try to move that way. It's not going to happen. Try to move this way, no problem, okay? Same with the other hand. Something comes up, you do this, and now try to go that way. Now it's not very natural motion, but once you go this way, there is no problem really to do that. Okay? The same thing when we go somewhere lower. Something happens there. Now it's very hard for me to move that way because my weight is here. It's a lot easier for me to move this way. The same here, something happens, and you see me doing with both hands because I am now thinking of the attack coming towards my body and I'm doing something. I don't know what's happening. The other hand is protecting my head. And now that's the key in training for us, is to be able to visualize, especially when we're training solo, to visualize that, okay, hey, this guy is going to attack me, so now I'm doing this, okay? Or he's attacking that way, now I'm doing this. I need to visualize that. And that's the hardest part of training solo. And it's not even easy when you have a partner to train with, because if they are not startling you, if they are not making anything for you to react, then it's not going to happen. And that's a problem that we face in self-defense training, and it doesn't matter whether it's Krav Maga or whatever else. If we don't take into the consideration that, hey, in a sudden attack, we're going to get startled, we're going to make the flinching motion, your eyes will close. This is all natural motion, so that's going to happen. So, let's get our first set of outside defenses doing with hands. So we are doing a basic 360 defense. But now as we start from here, as you see a lot of times normally we do, and in traditional Krav Maga we go from here to here. A very nice idea, but not very realistic idea, because if my hands are here and something starts coming towards my head, this is what's going to happen. I'm not going to go forward. You can test it very easily. Just turn around and somebody throws a ball at you and let's see if you go forward. You won't unless you turn around like this. This is where you're going to go forward. But now, thinking that, hey, something happens. So your hands start from here, and this is the things that we practice. We don't want the hands to go there directly, from here to there. We want them to go through your chest. And as we practice this, we can do it. We can get that motion of going from here to there. So every time something happens, your hands come here first and then they go front. And this is something that we need to practice a bit. Okay, so training is hands here, shoot out. Hands here, shoot out. And now, open hand. And over 90 degrees here, because if it's like this, it's going to come through. You don't have your hand muscles and your body muscles are not there to pack it up. So going to there, going to there, going there, going there, going down, and again, going down, 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 up, 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 up. Okay? Relax a bit. So now you are shooting your hand out. It's going to be a punch, all right? So hope you can see this hand bending here a bit. If I'm making this soft like this, nothing happens. But when I'm shooting my hand out, you see where it moves. And that's the idea. Now, don't overextend your hand to here. It's not a rotational motion. It's a shoot out motion to there. And as you slip out at the same time, you are actually making it better for you. And this is just a basic slip, kick, and now continue punching whatever. But at the same time, if we are dealing with the attack coming towards your head, neck tight, hands up, shoot out, and as you saw, I already moved. And now as I already moved, I am continuing with the kick, maybe grab, maybe punch. But now, focus on the initial motion of being able to do this. And as you see, or perhaps you don't see, but I feel that once you get startled here, the core muscles need to be tight, not to be here. Because if the core is not tight, hand is not tight. Once the core is tight, hand is tight. And it can stop and divert the attack. Okay? So let's do this. Up, hit, move. Now go for kick. Now make a decision what to do. Other way or other side. Think of going hit, move, kick, and now decide what's going to happen. Then we go to this level or this level. Now here's the, of course, the turning point. Okay, whether it's going to be this or if it's going to be this. A lot of times in the beginning, especially if you hold your hands very close here, you're trying to do motions like this. But if I put a knife into attacker's hand, you'll see that this does nothing. So doing this and training for this, it's going to be essentially better. Even if we do get cut a bit here, but we get stabbed here. This is not stopping anything, you see. The solution, let's give Bob this. The solution is to have your hands here, and now when you start thinking, let it go there, let it go there, and only when it feels like this is a turning point, that you don't have to actually bring your hand in here, but where your elbow hangs, so to say, now it's upward, now it's downwards. So you don't have to level up with the elbow. And this is a little bit different for each person since where our elbow is, but the main rule for this or this, as we did in the beginning of the exercise of this. All right? So now think, attack is coming from there, and you all of a sudden you're here, and now you need to decide what to do. I cannot kick now because my body weight is there. I now may be able to punch and keep the defense still there, or if I'm very lucky and fast, I can be moving already to the outside and change the hand. So we think it's going high up, we do this, you go to a kick. Now all of a sudden it changes. And now we go to here, and now I need to understand to move out from that place. All right? Other side. So we're going high up, and all of a sudden there's a second attack that is coming low. High up, all of a sudden attack that's coming low. Maybe move to the side, maybe change hand, depending of the attacker's motion. All right? Then, when we are dealing the outside defense and we are low, so something coming towards your stomach, something attacking from here, and all of a sudden you are like this. Now you need to understand to move your body away from that line of the attack. And that's why the block type of exercise where you do repeatedly this, it's not necessarily the best for your self-defense, the meaning that I am doing this, and if I am not hitting with this one, the next will come in. So then maybe doing this and moving out is a bit better. But now, in our block type of training where we do the repetitions, the idea is to train our central system, the computer here, that once I react to things like this, I will immediately move out. If the line of fire is here, red-blue line, so from here I was starting to do this, and now I move out. So it's a defense, attack, move out. And now remember, the simultaneous counterattack happens only when I can actually do the punching first, and then all of a sudden I need to make a defense. All right? So the simultaneous counterattack, the dream of doing defense first and then the attack, that's not how the brain works. If I made a decision, okay, I'm going to attack, and now there is something coming towards me, yeah, that's all right. Now, if the attack comes from down, think of your defense moving out, and now continue with punch, all right? So again, we start from here, and now as we move, think of the basic motions that we do, punch and hit type of motion, punch and hit type of motion. That's exactly what we're doing. So, thinking of doing defense, moving out, and hitting. Let this hand be here, because you might be able to grab on something. See, I'm now attacking with left hand, so you will see a little bit better. But thinking of my motion going this. And now, if I thought that he's here and he moved out, I need to be going forward. I need to rush in. And think of that hand coming in, you're doing this, and the hand keeps coming. You are actually able to hook the hand. Not like in normal training where you see people going like this, moving forward and hooking the hand. No, the person comes to you, and it's going to be very, very fluent motion, very simple motion to hook the hand, no problem. Okay? That you can see in Krav Maga coach where you go to defenses. We talk about that a bit there. I cannot remember the exact number of the technique, but it's in that section 05 where we talk about the hand defenses. All right, let's train a little bit more. So thinking of attack coming from low, and you start to go here in the attack. Now, of course, start thinking about doing this and now attacking at the same time. But now, if you hit this, the person was coming forward, you're making a defense and you hit here, there is no hand to grab. Okay? There is just no hand to grab. Of course not. Because the person is flying backwards. So don't worry about that. And then you will need to be able to do the defense, punch, continue with a kick, move out. That's why we do the attack drills of kicking, punching, moving forward. That's where you need to have that motion control in those techniques. All right, so we've been working downstairs. Attacks coming towards your stomach, lower torso, somewhere around here. But it somehow, now remember, outside of your hands. It somehow comes from this angle. It somehow comes from this angle. Once it starts to come straight, then of course the defenses are here. You need to get out of the line. The hand defense is not enough. And the same here. Hand defense is not enough. You need to be able to move out of the line. Even though I hit this and the person continues to come forward, you need to be able to move out of the line. Okay. Let's do a few more repetitions. And now thinking of defense, something coming from that direction. All of the sudden you hit the defense and now you may be able to move out and kick. Okay, let's do it again. Something coming from that direction, all of the sudden, move, kick, move out. Now, if you notice that within this motion, you end up in a bad balance like this, the correction is this. Don't try to overreach, okay? If it feels better for you, you can even do this, kick sideways, and keep on going, all right? It really doesn't matter. Just don't raise yourself to your full extension, because then you're going to be flying backwards. And that's not good. What we want to do now is to get to here, okay, kick, move, and keep your body tight all the time. Same thing, something starts from the other angle, and you go like, oh, what's that? And kick, and get out. And now as you see, if my hands are here, every time the hands shoot out, just don't overdo it. It's not to make a punch like this, but you start from here, you let the hand do a little out, little out, little out, and this is just to train your body not to do this. Because this is not, if something happens and I'm doing this, it's not going to defend me. But if I do this, that's going to be a defense. So hit with the hand. Okay, so now I summarize a bit before we move on. Now you need to have the basic training thinking that every time start with this. We get scared, we get startled, this happens. And now with this happens the hand defense, whether it's up there or whether it's down there. And then there comes the continuation, which is moving out of the line where the attack was coming towards. Okay, so same thing. Something happens, you start from here. So this out. And now you start moving and let the attacker come forward. And these are just putting the basic slipping and hitting whether it's going to be with punches or with kicks. Slipping and hitting, just combining those together, okay? Now we just added the defense. Then, this is like in 360 type of training where we do this. The key thing that is lacking is actually this. We are doing it like this, and now from this position, what will happen is that your hands will shoot out straight. If there is no starting motion from here, but it goes like you're turning your head away, you are actually going more into a stepping defense type of thing. I've lost my microphone again, but oh, it's here, no problem. I found it. So always start from this. And now, as it comes a natural, it is one of the most natural motions people have, is this closing their eyes and doing this. Let's enhance it. Let's make it better in training. Okay? So every time you are doing 360 training with a partner, always start from here. Always start from here. And when you are tasked of doing, okay, do a simultaneous counterattack, remember that the attack is first. So once you see that the person is moving, you go into punching. And now it doesn't matter if they change their hand direction. They start from here and all of a sudden they are stabbing you from underneath. If you start with the attack, your hand will follow. And that's the reason when you have this happening, your hand will follow. Okay? This is what's going to happen. Your hand will follow. But if you are doing this, there is no chance your hand will follow, because when your upper body is not tight, your core cannot be tight, and this hand, from moving from here to here, needs your core to be tight. It needs your core muscles. If you are reaching all out, you don't have core muscles, you cannot alter the hand from here to correct place where it should be going. It's impossible. So now, the practice of this, and now it's changing altitude, so to say. So we start from here, no, it was coming low. We start from here, no, it was coming low. We started low, no, it was coming high up. We started low, no, it was coming higher up. Now the change is easy. Now you can try this without having your upper body muscles with you, and you can do this. Start from low and now try to be high. I cannot do it. Well, maybe you can. I cannot do it. So I can start low and then I need to be high. I cannot do it. I try to do it. I try to raise the hand here, but this is as far as I go. Now as I do this, no problem. And I'm a little bit sad about this thing, since I've been training Krav Maga now, 27 years. And I had to figure this out without all these masters and grandmasters telling me about this secret thing, what I expected them to know 25 years ago. But still they're like, no, move your hand here. Because the thing is that if you don't have it in here, you don't have it up here. That's just the truth. And that's just how it is. Because now we've tested this for, I don't know, maybe 3 years now, since I understood this thing. And before that it was always like, pinching your legs and doing this. But it was all the time, it was just this. So the key lesson here in this session is this. Start from here. You can alter your hands, no problem. Don't focus too much on simultaneous counterattack with the punch, because you can do the simultaneous counterattack with leg, or almost simultaneous, one and a half in a rhythm. Okay? So, what about when it comes to your leg? Somebody is kicking you, making something like this happening. Now, the problem again is that if I'm like this, somebody starts kicking my leg, I will do this, I will get hit to the thigh. And of course it's going to be a hard kick. It's going to hurt like anything. If I'm more here, so thinking of just putting my weight here, I'm talking to a person, I'm in non-violent posture here, I'm not trying to provoke anything. My hands might be this, 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 whatever suits you. But what is all the time there is that my core muscles are here. So now if there's an attack, somebody walks up to me and says, hey guy, doing this and this and this, and all of a sudden there's a kick, or all of a sudden there's a kick. Of course, if it's going to be this kick and I was standing here, it's not going to be an outside defense, it's going to be an inside defense, just like we did last week. But now, if it's going to be an outside defense, so kicking would be something, hey man, doing, starting to do something like this. The outside defense from here, it's very simple. I just turn my foot and kick. Just as we did in a warm-up, we did this motion. Now if I'm here, it's not very hard to do. And now with this, you can continue with a punch, or you can continue with a thinking, okay, don't want any trouble, already doing something like this, hitting the person in the throat or so, no problem. All right? Again, the position. You don't need to be in a fighting stance. The only fighting stance I have now is here. The fighting stance in my core muscles. Hands can be here, hands can be here. Shoulder can be a little bit more forward like this. How do you like it to be? As long as you feel that, hey, I can move from here, I can move from here, I can move from here if I want to punch the person. Everything is doable. So, thinking of the defense, this motion, and this is now the most important motion. In training, we a lot of times see that, okay, what if he's kicking with the other leg and we start to do something like this? There is no need for that, because the person needs to be all the way there to actually hit you here. Otherwise, they will hit you here. So you're doing an inside defense. Okay, so from here, outside, outside, and now this is the motion that your hips are doing. You can still see me, right? So from here, if I'm besides this person, the idea of going to here, to here, to here, not to here. It's not a rotational motion that we see people doing like this. No, it's directly lifting your leg from here to the side and giving your hip a kick or punch. Now the continuation from here, whether I am moving forward with this hand, so now let's say that the person was hitting me, so here comes and now that's what's going to happen to this. So if I just let this punch come through, it's going to be like this, and it's going to hurt me here. Now I stop it with my knee and shin here, and I continue. And now remember, we should train to make the defense, same leg, same hand. We should train the defense, opposite leg, opposite hand, because this is very dependent on whether your balance is here or whether your balance is here. So it's not a question of a technique, it's a question of the flow of your body, how the body moves. So going from here, punching, or here, punching, punching, or even here, you made a defense, you got the defense, person was kicking, you got the defense, and they are here. Now before they can move, you move out, kick to the groin, or kick to the inside thigh here. So thinking that I made a defense, and now I'm moving out and making slip and a roundhouse. The idea, okay? So when we want to train the other foot, bring that foot front. The same as with hands. Thinking of this, up and hit, up and hit. All right, we're getting, probably we are now enjoying some of the electricity savings that we've been warned about in the news. I don't know, but it's going to be, what's that, romantic lighting in the training. All right, so again, the same idea as with the hand, as I had in my, the core was tight here. Again, I do this and I bring the leg up. Bringing the leg up, not here, but here. We are trying to create a 90-degree angle. So, because if I'm like this and the kick hits me here, there's a chance it will throw my leg across a bit, okay? But when I face it here, there's the 90-degree angle you see here. And that's what we're aiming for with that one. Now, it will hurt your leg to to get hit. But if you are kicking against it, you are kicking towards the hit. The same here. As I am hitting the hand here, it's not gonna hurt me as much as it's going to hurt me when my hand is still. And this will go through, this will not go through, okay? Now, don't think this as a defense against the baton or so. I'm not trying to, this is now describing an arm or so because I don't have such a reach. Next week we are going into the stepping defenses and getting into those. All right. So now we have enough time to go through the outside defenses because there is one that I've, or actually two that I've, passed by quite shortly or not at all of yet. So thinking of the Krav Maga 360 type of defense. And now we start from the situation where we are not being the ones attacking. We are the ones that are defending. We are reacting, and then we're trying to, get to the level of the situation. So, in a nonviolent posture, you are trying to de-escalate. You are trying to walk away, but it seems to be not the case that the attacker wants. So get ready in your stomach, thinking that the attack starts to come towards your head. So you make the defense. And now let's just make the defense. Nothing else, just defense and move. Okay? The same thing again, same direction. And now the person starts to come at you, so you make the defense. Again, same thing from here, you make the defense. Now remember, throat and neck tight and the hand shoots out, okay? So around, again from here, no, I don't want any trouble, no, let's just, walk our separate ways, whatever are your verbal communications, and then you shoot your hand out. Now we can attach the attack. So we start from here, move, and kick. Now remember, this is not a step. This is moving. Thinking that I'm doing this, and once you are moving, and now I am stepping. You see the difference in the legs, okay? You feel the difference in your stomach. Once you move, everything is starting to come quite sharp. When you are making a step, everything is quite slow and even clumsy. Now you can do the other side. Of course, I'm not going to repeat that. Let's move to the thing that I think that the attack is coming high. So the attacker starts to motion like this, but all of a sudden they turn their hand towards your stomach. So very suddenly something happens and you need to do the defense here. Okay? So you start from here, no, the defense was there, and you turn out. Turn away from the attack. So from here, no, it was there. Again. So you start from here, no. You come up over here. All right, then let's do a few times something that might happen when you turn around and all of a sudden somebody grabs you and start punching you with a knife. So he would turn around, I would do the attack, I would start doing this, okay? So now, this is a situation that we have a very, very little chance of getting out unharmed, because the timing and the awareness, we were not there, all of a sudden something happens. But the attacker actually helps us when they start pulling us towards them, because that pull that comes from here is actually helping me to make the defense, right? Only time it's not helping me is that I'm starting to do this. I'm trying to, do a counter to the pull. But if I turn, somebody pulls me, and I'm doing this, now it's going to be good. And now the motion from here, move out. Remember, the person is ramming forward, they are doing this, they are pulling. And now all of a sudden, if you are able to make this sort of motion, it's not there anymore, okay? So, when you practice with a partner and you are doing this drill, always remember that your partner needs to be an active attacker. They keep on doing this. They don't need to do it hard, depending on the type of protective gear that you have. You can do it in that motion and sense. All right? So now the defenses that we've done down and high, but what if the situation comes so that now as your hands are here and you turn and this is the angle, and now something starts coming towards your head and you're like, what is happening? So that's the case. So the idea of defense here and defending with the shoulder. Now, in a lot of Krav Maga, this is done as a decisive technique, as a decision to go against a baton, doing this. However, the thing is that if Bob is so far away and I am making an attack like this, it very often turns into a step and hand, and now I'm just too high up. But if this is attacking me from here and I do this as a reflex to the motion, okay, now I'm here, now I'm here, now I'm here, and the person is actually coming towards you, it's very doable. When the person is attacking you, coming from here, and now this motion. So it's usually done against somebody with a baseball bat or somebody with a chair or something like that. But it can just be somebody attacking you very long with a knife and you just happen to be there and this is your reaction. Or it might be that the person is attacking you with a roundhouse kick and this happens. All right? That's it. So, not to practice too much on moving forward with the leg, but practicing more of putting your shoulder first and then let your leg move in. All right? So that's the defense here. Then, of course, we have the outside defenses that come, okay, something starts to come to, and I'm doing a defense like this with two hands. And now this, continuing with the hammer punch, yeah, it's something that happens and says, hey, don't do anything, and now all of a sudden person is giving you a roundhouse kick to your head. Whoa, what's happening? Okay? From here. And it might as well be a baton or so or something like this. Your hands just shoot out. One of the techniques or defenses that's more like a decisive one is that somebody starts slashing you. And the attack starts coming from here, here, here. Person is coming towards you. And the first thing that you do is that you get out of the line of fire and then you are in a two-handed motion like this. If your slipping away is this, then you are in this defense. But the person was coming towards you. You should check the videos in the KMC defenses part. All the videos are explained a little bit better there. But these are also outside defenses as we go. All right. Then the last level of outside defenses that we had was here. So doing this and kicking, doing this and kicking. Of course, there is also the continuation motion for this motion of making the scooping defense, all right? But now remember, the scooping defense is not a round type of defense. It's a defense down, 360 type of defense down, continuing with the motion of directing the hand away. So don't train this and out. So doing this and out. Okay? That's the case. All right, people, we've had our share of not such a good luck with electricity and power today, but somehow we managed to do the exercise. I don't even know what time it is, probably somewhere around 6:45 or something like that, if my inner clock says okay. So now, when you go into practicing, remember, this is one of the most important parts of outside or any defenses. And when you train, don't try to train the hitting part too much. Don't try to be overreaching here. Think of it where the limitations of your own body. If the limitation of your own body is around here, because my elbow is here and it cannot go straight out. So that's the defense part. And then you can move out, no problem. But don't go overextending your hand. Don't start to do this, okay? And once you do this, it's not going to be hard to not overextend your hand. But if you're not doing this, this is easy, okay? Don't do that. It's just waste of your time. All right, people. See you next week. Hopefully we have a little bit more and better luck with power. At least I will try to make the internet connection better and make sure that even if we lose power, we don't lose the connection. But next week we are going to focus on the stepping defense, and then that where we're also going to go a little bit to straight punches and power delivery on your attacks, but mainly focus on those. And until then, have a good time training and see you then.